So you're probably wondering, why do I have Mo Salah in colour? I've got Coutinho, Suarez and Torres in black and white. I could have added many other players to that thumbnail, but I opted to put the most recent ones on there. The key difference is one player is still currently at this squad, performing week in, week out, wanting to be here, most importantly, wanting to win, wanting to put on the jersey, play for the badge, play for the club, play for the city, play for its fans all around the world. One player wants to be here and get the business done. The other three, they left for greener pastures, thought that they were probably better than the club, bigger than the club, and the old adage says, no player is bigger than the club. But we're not talking about a player who wants to leave and we're all struggling and trying to keep him here. We have a player who wants to be here, and yet it seems like the owners or the club or whoever is involved is trying to get rid by not adhering to their contract requirements or requests, shall we say. Now we'll hear a little bit from Michael Owen, who reckons he's got some insight into what's happening here. But before we get to that, Jamie Carragher had an interesting take on this on MNF just yesterday. Let's have a quick listen here.
There has not been conversations, there's not been an offer from Liverpool for their iconic player, Mo Salah.
Of course, there's been discussions, yeah. Right now, there's obviously a big difference in...
I'm just wondering, how does he know that they've actually had discussions? Does he have inside people at the club? Does he know a few things? That's what I'd be questioning. Interesting.
The valuation. What Mo Salah and his agent value themselves at, whether that's financially or in terms of length of contract, to what Liverpool do. So the reason Liverpool wouldn't have offered a contract yet is because Mo Salah will turn it down. So
how does he know that as well? How does he know Salah will turn a contract down? Is Salah made out to be a liar now? Is that what Carragher is saying? Salah is basically saying, no one's contacted me and it's all down to the club, when they've actually said, hey, Mo, we want to give you 2 years. No, I want 3 years. So I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to entertain you until you give me a 3-year offer. That's what I'm hearing from Carragher.
So they're still in talks. Maybe I'm desperate for them to meet in the middle. But I must say, I am very disappointed with Mo Salah.
Why?
That interview yesterday, last night after the game, and it comes out today. Liverpool have got Real Madrid midweek and they've got Manchester City at the weekend. That's the story for Liverpool right now. And Mo Salah, we're all quite aware, certainly the local reporters are in Liverpool, that in the 7 years he's been at the football club, he's stopped in the mix zone twice, which is right, which is absolutely fine. But he decided to stop for the third time away at Southampton on the back of winning Liverpool the game and putting that out.
What's wrong with that? Man saw an opportunity to speak his mind. He's like, okay, hang on a second. I want to be here. I want to play for the club. I want to play for the fans. I want to win stuff here. He said it as well. I hate the fact, I hate this talk that we're underdogs. We're not underdogs. We have quality players. And again, my preference or my take on the club is, I don't know if we have enough to go the distance, but at the moment it looks good, okay? I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll hold my head up, say I was wrong, right? But he says himself, like, we're not underdogs. I hate this idea that we're the underdogs. No, we have quality players. We have good quality players in every position. There's no reason why we can't go on and win something with this club here, with Arne Slot coming in, picking up from what Klopp has left for us over the last 5 or plus years, right? Because Klopp, he said, you're in good hands. Maybe we thought, maybe just talking shit to make us feel better, a bit of copium or hopium. But it seems like maybe he was telling the truth, right? So Arne Slot at the moment doing the business. Salah's doing the business. The squad is performing, okay? Top of the league, 8 points, all that good stuff, okay? Real Madrid coming in a day or two's time, fair enough. And then we've got Man City at home on Sunday, which is a massive game for us. Referees aside, I think 3 of the officials are from Manchester. So make of that what you will. But for Salah speaking out against the club saying nobody's offered me anything, you got to ask yourself, is Salah being made a liar or is he telling the truth and the club has not offered him anything? Carragher reckons that there have been discussions and Salah basically says, no, these are my terms. If you're not even going to come with them first up, I don't care. I don't want to hear it at all. So that's what Carragher is saying. Now let's see what Michael Owen said, because again, one of the old boys, you know, once a Manc, never a Red, all that sort of stuff. He left for greener pastures at Real Madrid in 2004. And what did we do the year after he left? We won the Champions League. We won it in Istanbul. We won it 5 times. Anyways, let's see what he had to say.
So let's remind you, Mo Salah out of contract at the end of this season. And he says, I'm more out than in at the moment. Should Liverpool fans be worried all around the world watching that? And what do you make of the timing of him stopping to do an interview like that?
I think fans around the world will be very annoyed at the club. If that's the case, and I can't imagine Mo Salah's going to lie, if that's the case...
Well, Cara reckons there have been discussions. Mo says there haven't. Owen says, I don't think Mo would be one to lie. So who's telling the truth here?
Then it's really bad from the club's point of view. My inkling, and I might be wrong, but what I hear is that the club, or that Mo Salah is wanting a longer-term contract. When you're young, you want short contracts. Keep the desirability, keep them short, keep everybody wanting you. When you're older, of course, you want stability. You want, secure. You want to be secure.
And we've been here before. Liverpool do have a policy, don't we?
Well,
after
exactly.
30.
But he's very different, isn't he? He's as fit as a fiddle, and he's still banging them in. But if he's going in and asking for 5 years or something, then rightly so, the club will think, So.
Think about it though, 5 years. If he wants everything's the same, just give me 5-year contract. Another one. He's at 32, bro. Imagine him at 37 still playing for Liverpool, or we could probably, sell him at some point, even though we probably don't want to. But 5 years, that would be excessive. Now, obviously, FSG, Michael Edwards, and everybody else, they have this thing of try and keep players over 30. At a minimum. But as Owen says, Salah is different. He's already hit double figures this season for goals and assists. The man is killing it at the moment, scoring goals, getting assists, affecting games, being the danger man. He's not playing well. He'll still do something for you, all that sort of stuff, right? All the praises that he gets, yeah? Leading the Ballon d'Or list and everything, okay? Player of the season so far and all that, even at the end of November, right? So Mo Salah is no ordinary 32-year-old footballer. The man is one of a kind. So what are Liverpool saying now? You can be as good as you can be, but if you're not of the age within our brackets on what our spreadsheets say, sorry, mate, you have to go. Why would you do this to a player that wants to be there? He wants to be there. We'll come back to this.
Oh, maybe there's a bit of that. They're not even sitting down, because straight away they say, well, I'm not going to talk to you if you're not going to give me 5 years. Let's say, and I don't know entirely, but my sources tell me that it's more of a term problem. One thing, though, that Mo Salah's got the head start on is he's just done that interview, and straight away now the fans are going to be, what are you doing, Liverpool Football Club? This is our great player that scored so many goals. And I just wonder, lads, because you've been in that role before, actually, as well, that if that happened to you and you were the director of football, all of a sudden the spotlight comes on you.
Anyways, I don't think care what they have to say the rest of that. But Owen says it there. His sources reckon that it's an issue about the term. How long is the contract on offer? Is it 2 years? Is it 3 years? Does he want 2+1? Does he want 3+1? We don't know what the situation is. It's all, smoke screen, wool over the eyes, whatever the term is, right? But again, let me go back to this final point here. Mo Salah wants to stay at Liverpool, unlike the players in the thumbnail and Michael Owen himself, who wanted to go. Even said, Ian Rush left, went to Juventus, came back. I thought I could do the same thing. Nah, bin you, mate. You left us. No, thank you, right? Obviously, Robbie Fowler left, came back. Maybe different circumstances at the time there. But again, Coutinho could have been a great Liverpool player, decided to leave for Barcelona. We all know how that turned out. I'm not saying you leave Liverpool and things go wrong, but he could have made something of himself. But on the flip side, that sale allowed us to buy Virgil van Dijk and Alisson, which got us to where we are today, you could probably say, right? Before that, we had Torres in 2011. When or it was 2011 or 2012, 2011 I think it was, when he went to Chelsea for 50 mil because the ambitions of the club were not meeting his expectations. He wanted to come there and win things. He wanted to be contending for Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues and all that sort of stuff. And with the Hicks and Gillett situation and FSG coming in, that just became a massive shit fight. And he obviously went to Chelsea, and we know how that ended up there, winning the Champions League and Europa League and all that sort of stuff, right? So that was Torres. Suarez as well. Didn't want to play shit competitions, wanted to win the leagues, wanted to play in the Champions League and all those sorts of things there. And he found the opportunity and went to Barcelona for whatever reason, circumstances aside in the media, on how he was treated and obviously his shenanigans because he wasn't the most well-disciplined player. Let's just put it lightly there, and many other players before that as well. But there's always this thing that we always say: it's no player is bigger than the club. But that normally comes across, or that is said when a player wants to leave, not when a player wants to stay. But it's not like we're going to have Mo Salah hold the club ransom as well. If he says, I want 400 grand in 3 years, okay, maybe that's a bit of a question mark. But then you say, is he worth it? Is he worth the money? For 3 years, 4 years, having another player on 350 grand a week, that's a lot of money going towards one player when arguably you can get 2 players, split the money, good quality players, but are they Mohamed Salah level? Are they Mo Salah? No, they're not. Ultimately, that's what it comes down to. Do you want to keep Mo Salah for as long as he's possibly able to, have him scoring goals, being the main man, doing what he does, that he has done for 7, 8 years so far? Or do you want to say, thank you very much, you've done all you can. Unfortunately, you're not fitting what we're looking for in players anymore. We thank you for your services, club legend, all that sort of stuff, breaking all these records, but it's time for you to go now. Thanks, goodbye. FSG would have to be idiots because that's basically, you know... I say this word, but yeah, unaliving themselves to the fans if that's the case. If they're going to just drop him like that, give him a couple of years. If Salah wants 3 years and they're only offering 2, I don't know how the fans are going to take that. They might say, give him another year, just give it to him, or give him 2+1 if he wants to sign on. If not, he can leave for a minimum of X amount in his contract with the release clause or something like that. I don't know how that's going to work. But main thing is, he wants to be here. Mo Salah wants to remain at Liverpool, unlike these other players that left us and thought they were going to do the business elsewhere. Some of them did, but never reached the heights that they possibly could. Bar Suarez, maybe. So Suarez definitely reached these heights. Torres, so-so. Coutinho, didn't really make the cut as the player that we all thought he would be. So, these players wanted to leave because the ambition wasn't there. Similar scenario with maybe Trent, for example. Van Dijk is getting on age 2, so we'll see what happens. I know some people will be thinking, you know what, fair enough, just leave if this club ain't going to value you, but then that tarnishes the relationship with the fans. And of course, you have your FSG inners, you have your FSG outers. It's going to be a massive shit fight. Does this derail the season? I don't think so. Does this raise question marks now? Who the hell knows? I hope he stays, but fuck knows what's going to happen, really.